It's becoming more and more common for working professionals to start a side hustle or a business. But what if you've started a business and have realized that the side hustle or entrepreneur life just isn't for you, and you want to re-enter the workforce? In this video, I'll give you some resume tips that will help take you from self-employed back to employed. If you want weekly tips, tricks, and advice that will help you advance your job search faster, then you're in the right place. I post new videos every Tuesday, and I'll be going live again for season 2 of Office Hours in January 2021. So hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell to get notifications. My videos will equip you with some of the most valuable advice that will make your job search easier, because job searching shouldn't be this hard. I'm Kamara Toffolo, resume writer, LinkedIn consultant, and job search strategist who helps established professionals dare to do work differently and land great fitting gigs. So the biggest challenge on our resume with showcasing a side hustle or a business is making it make sense towards our target job and our target employer. And that's what we'll focus on in this video today. We're going to use our buddy Jim Halpert, or Big Tuna, as an example. For Jim, let's say Athlead wasn't a slam dunk, and due to COVID-19 and its disruption of the professional sports industry, his sports marketing firm had to close up shop. Jim would no doubt be job searching, and he'd probably be looking for something in sales. So let's help Jim get hired.
Yesterday we had a meeting about planets.
Well, to be fair, Jimothy, to be fair, Jimothy, that sounds weird. Are you okay with being called Jim?
I am.
All right.
Founder, CEO, operator. These are some titles that I frequently see job seekers using when referring to their businesses and side hustles. And these titles rarely ever make sense for job seekers. And they call into question, why would someone, say at CEO level, be applying for something that is much more junior? People in hiring might get a little skeptical. So since you're the boss of your business, you can easily take creative license with giving yourself a more appropriate title. A title that makes sense towards your target direction. So for Jim, we know that he was a founding partner at Athlead, and I assume that's what he was referring to himself as. This role sounds particularly unapproachable, especially when we consider that Jim will probably be applying to a role like sales manager. Since Jim was one of the founders at Athlead, he can take creative license and rename his title to something more related to his target direction. He can further clarify in the description of his role at Athlead that he was one of the founding partners, but his focus was more so in sales. We really need to make this work make sense to our target employer and target job. And this is one of the easiest ways to make sure that happens.
My job is to speak to clients on the phone about quantities and type of copy or paper, whether we can supply it to them, whether they can pay for it, and I'm boring myself just talking about this.
If you've watched my videos, you know that I like to recommend a certain structure for your professional experience section, particularly for each of your jobs. First, we start with our role title, with the date range that we were in that role on the right-hand margin. Then underneath that, we include the name of our employer. Following that, we use a small paragraph that describes our responsibilities and mandate in that role. And then finally, we include 3 to 5 select bullets, with select as in the best accomplishments from that role. So we just talked about how to address our role title. Let's talk about that small paragraph. You'll want to write about your mandate in that role in a way that, again, makes sense to your target role and makes sense to your target employer. In Jim's case, as one of Athlead's executive leaders and founding partners, he may have had to do something like actually establish the office in Philadelphia and maybe staff Athlead's headquarters and bring tech in as needed. But that kind of stuff might not make sense if he's going for a sales manager role. But one thing we know that Jim did a lot of as well was engage with and build relationships with the athletes who are their target clients. And that responsibility absolutely makes sense towards his target direction. So we'll really want to emphasize that.
Pretty big long-term plans in my personal life with Pam that I'd like her parents to be psyched about. So I am about to do something very bold at this job that I've never done before. Try.
Accomplishments are the meat of your resume. They are equivalent to all those moments that Jim looks directly at the camera. They grab the attention of the audience, or the reader in the case of your resume, and they make a point. So just like with our 2 previous points, we want to make our accomplishments make sense towards our target direction, our target job, our target employer. In order to do this, you're going to want to lean on the 5 R's framework, which I've discussed in a bunch of earlier videos. But to recap, the 5 R's are: we want to reframe our work experience so that it is relevant to our target job and target employer. It relates to our target job. It reinforces skills and strengths required from us in our target job, and it resonates with our target employer and target job. So in Jim's case, let's say he needed to go out and get investors for Athlead. While not 100% sales related, there is a sales component to that. So Jim is really going to want to emphasize the quantifiable aspect of bringing investors on board. So how much money did he bring into the company through pitching investors? Or maybe that time that Jim played basketball with Julius Erving. In an accomplishment bullet, he could provide details of what resulted from winning him over in terms of value of referrals, closed deals, and things like that. That would be very related to his direction of going back to sales. And if he is going for a sales manager role, there will probably still be a leadership component. So he can mention how he recruited Daryl to work at the company, or how he led other team members to achieve great sales and revenue producing results. Things are looking good for Jim. I think that there are a lot of accomplishments that he can use that satisfy the 5 R's and will make sense in taking him back to a job in sales. Look, work is work. Whether you're self-employed or employed, a boss or a boss individual contributor, all work experience counts. But no matter the work experience, you must make it make sense. It's your job to help your target employer visualize you in your target role. You basically need to promote yourself as the solution creator for their business problem. So here's my cue for you. Do you have, or did you have, a side hustle or business? Are you now on the job hunt? After watching this video, how are you going to address that work experience on your resume? Tell me in the comments below. I make a lot of videos, but I also make free guides to help you in your job search. If you would like my free cover letter guide, make sure you sign up for it. The sign up link is located in the description below. And if you found this video helpful, give it a like, share it with a friend, and click on my face over there and subscribe. And I'll see you next time.